Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I'm not sure what time zone you're in, but you are now with the Family Finance and Foundation podcast. I am your host, Roscoe Lee Owens, and it's about your legacy. And I just wanted to take a minute from the last time we connected, which was a couple of weeks ago on the uh, RLO Agency podcast. I already know that I had to continue to keep you in the loop with the amazing family finance and foundation opportunities. I'm working on legacies for parents, grandparents, grandchildren. Major thought on life insurance and legacy building. We want to talk to you about some products that we have at Equis Financial. It is my RLO agency powered by Equis Financial 2022. This is a positive, powerful move, and I want to share it with you because I have two of the dynamic people that are involved with this legacy, with the opportunity that Equis Financial brings to us. And that is my two most outstanding guests, Mr. and Mrs. Iris and Robert Davis. Well, there they are right there. Two outstanding individuals, friends, and leaders for the RLO Agency podcast. And how are you both this morning?
Great.
Great. We
How are
blessed.
you today?
Yeah, blessed like you.
It says, ask me about life insurance and the
With
living
living benefits.
benefits. Ooh-wee. So we have a lot to talk about today, and I
Yeah.
want to just share that the living benefits and the products that we have to offer. And Iris, I want to start off with you.
Okay.
So please share.
Well, thank you for having us again on your podcast. We really enjoyed the last time, and we're really wanting to spread more information in this podcast to continue from the last one. Um, Today, I think we need to get into products and what clients really need and what fits clients because every client, something fits every client different. So we have to really talk with the client and figure out what their needs are. Once we figure out what their needs are, then we'll know where to place them. But with us, what we promote is life insurance with living benefits because now you don't have to die to use your insurance. And I think people really need to know about that. That's really important because a lot of people think, hey, I get insurance. I never see it. It's definitely for leaving a legacy or leaving to bury me. But that's not the case anymore. Just in case if you're working and you have a stroke, heart attack, cancer, anything like that, you're able to access a lump sum from your life insurance policy to pay your bills and to pay your medical bills while you're off work getting well. So that's very important for everyone to know now is that this is information that is needed to know, and we need to get this out across to the communities and let everyone know that, update your policies, speak with your agents, contact Roscoe Lee Owens to talk about life insurance with living benefits. Let him explain to you what this life insurance policy can do for you or your family, just in case of any type of major illness arrives. And we tell anyone the leading cause of bankruptcy these days are being not able to pay that 20% of your health insurance. Everybody think 80/20 is so dynamic. But if you have a major illness, that 20% of your health insurance can become costs a lot. And so if you have a policy with living benefits, you're able to access a lump sum to pay off that 20%. So you won't have to worry about going into your savings. You don't have to worry about not paying your bills. You will have this extra income that you will be able to use to pay off your medical bills. So that's something that I think it's much needed discussion that we need to talk about throughout the community to let everybody know that life insurance is just more than leaving a legacy. It's also talking about now and helping that be able to help you while you're living. So Roscoe, let's dive into um, a policy application. And I'll start with one. I call it the 3-in-1 because now in a life insurance policy, you have the death benefit, the living benefit, and cash value. So if you die, the policy is paid off. If you live and you become ill, you can borrow from this policy to make sure that your bills are paid. And if all of that goes smooth and you live to the age of 65 and 70, on most of these policies, you can stop payment on it and you can start receiving this money as a retirement income to supplement what all you're going to get already from your job. So this is very important for everyone to look into this. These policies also, you can put kids in them starting at 14 days old. You can access this money when a kid turns 18, when they get ready to go to college, to pull a lump sum out of there to pay college tuition, to pay for books, room, and board. Not only that, hey, you can use this policy if you're getting married to use it for your wedding. All females out there that want a glamorous wedding, you have this type of policy you can pull from it to pay for that beautiful gown that you want to put on. If all of that, you can also use this to pay a down payment on your first home. You can use this to pay a down payment on your first car. So I think that we really need to speak out loudly about these type of policies to know how to use them and when to use them. So Roscoe, ask me any questions that you think that may come up. If you're thinking of any clients of yours that you may want to talk to and get them involved in these type of policies.
Before Roscoe, before you answer that, let me piggyback on what Iris just said about the IUL, our Index Universal Life policy, which is our Mercedes-Benz of the insurance. So not only can you access a portion of the death benefit to help supplement your income, but you also have some cash value in that. And if times got hard, you can borrow against the cash value. So there are two ways that you can pull money out of this IUL, our Index Universal Life, which was started around 1997, the IUL. Now, the term policy, we won't even get to that.
No.
Okay. But I just wanted to piggyback on how powerful this IUL, this Index Universal Life policy is.
Yes.
I think that's very, very valuable in what you both just shared with that, because I was just instituting what we talk about legacy, which is now and later, almost like the candy bar, now and later. But the fact that you can utilize this policy now for the things that you had just mentioned, I need to think about weddings and other things.
Yes.
Whatever comes up that you want to utilize that because you have stored your funds in an absolute wonderful space that will take care of any kind of solution. What I'd like to do is, because we were talking about the IUL and its incredible understanding of if you have cancer or if you have something that you can utilize, I think we have a video that shows somebody that has gone through that experience.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if we would be able to share that now, then we'll get into another kind of product.
Yes.
And our absolutely awesome engineer back there, if you have one of those that integrates our information into a story, would you please share that?
My name is Latasha McCray, and this is my living benefit story. I'm 38 years old. I'm a single mother of an 18-year-old, and I work in the banking industry.
I'm David Sutherland from Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm a living benefit life insurance agent. When I had first met Latasha, 30 years old, single mother with an 8-year-old son.
I am an avid gym goer. I was really in great health. Dave came over one afternoon.
She explained that, what she was trying to accomplish was to protect her 8-year-old son in case something happened.
The idea that I liked the most about the living benefits, it gave me security to let me know that if anything happened to me, my son would still be taken care of.
What we ended up doing was a 30-year term policy for $250,000 with all the benefits included.
So I decided to put the policy in place with Dave. Years had gone by, and I'm just working every day, going to work, not thinking anything of it. And one day I get a phone call from my doctor. And they called to let me know that I was diagnosed with stage 2-3 breast cancer. It was one of the worst calls in my life. I literally thought I was like losing everything that I had always worked for. I had always been in great health. I had all these financial plans set. And just to hear that, it just made me feel like I was losing everything. I went into shock for about 2 days. I didn't eat. I couldn't really sleep. My doctors were basically some of the best doctors that we had, and they put a plan together how we were going to beat cancer. So it began with telling me the financial needs, of course, the surgeries that I would need. The funding itself was astronomical. My job was kind enough to say, well, we'll give you time off, but it will be unpaid. Therefore, I really didn't have any income coming in to take care of my mortgage, to take care of my son. My insurance didn't cover 100% of my chemotherapy, and I couldn't afford it. I had stocks, I had savings, but it was nothing compared to the money that I would need to take care of the chemotherapy.
She happened to call and say, I need to cancel my plan. I have a health crisis, and I've been diagnosed with breast cancer. And I said, well, no, you don't need to cancel your plan to try and save premium. You need to put in a claim.
Through my job, I had great health insurance. I always thought that because I had great health insurance, I was always covered. Chemotherapy wasn't covered 100% with my insurance. So the living benefit really came in and helped me take care of those chemo treatments, my radiation, my surgeries, my biopsies. There's a lot of things associated with cancer that the insurance companies do not cover.
That's what gets people in trouble financially. And that's why you have a plan with living benefits that you don't have to die to use your plan.
I really didn't have income coming in to put gas in my car, to pay my car note. And I remember speaking with my doctors, and they told me this financial plan was going to cost thousands. One of the first plans that I received was $20,000.
The claims process took 2 to 3 weeks at the most. And then Latasha called me one day and just said, hey, I just got a check in the mail today for just a little over $65,000. She still has almost $170,000 of remaining benefit that's still existing.
Even though I was still fighting cancer, I still had surgeries I still had to recover from, financially, I didn't have to fight through anything because the living benefits plan was there. I just wanted to make sure that my son didn't feel that his mom was sick. He knew I was sick. It was something that I was living through. I didn't want it to affect him at all. He still had his cable, still had his games. And I know to a lot of people that's not important, but to me, it was important for me to feel like I'm fighting this, not he's fighting this cancer. Through a total of 9 surgeries, and 2 years later, I've been cancer-free, 2 years December, and my life has taken a total turn for the best.
She's back to living a normal life. And it's just a very rewarding, fulfilling thing to have been a small part of that.
The living benefit plan is something that everybody needs to look into, to spare just a few moments of your time, whether it's $30, $40, $50 a month. This is your future that you're thinking about. A lot of people say, I love my kids. If you love your kids, think about your kids' future. Think about your future with your kids, and think about your kids' future without you. If you're not thinking about all of these things, then you're really not planning for a future at all. And the living benefits plan basically makes sure that your kids are taken care of, you're taken care of, your illness is taken care of. Money isn't everything, but when you're battling cancer, it's a whole lot off of you.
Well, first of all, thank you very, very much, Kijana, for sharing that information. And Iris and Robert, that shared the great information that you shared early in the podcast,
Yes.
what people
Yes.
can see, the reality, the stories. It's real.
It's real.
And I want to give it back to you about some of the products that we have that will assist families with their finance, as you mentioned, and also it becomes their foundation.
Thank you, Roscoe. Well, I must say that that was very powerful. That was a
Touching.
powerful story. My eyes are watered because being a female, and I know breast cancer, and we have to get a mammogram every year, and we fear that mammogram because we never know what the results are going to be. We hope and pray that they come back negative every year, but being a female, we never know. It was just touching. And that's the type of stories that we need to get out there. And people need to see this everywhere because it's real. And just like she said, the medical part of it, of course, she said she had great insurance. And that's what I was speaking on before. Even with great insurance, you still have a copay. You still have that deductible. You still have outside treatment. And she had all those surgeries to do reconstruction and everything else. And that cost a lot of money. And thank God that she had that policy and she had the type of agent that she had to go in and explain to her, no, you don't need to cancel your policy. You need to use it. And 3 weeks later, she was able to have $65,000 in her bank account to take care of herself and her son. And that's what's most important, is to make sure that you are focusing on the bigger picture and letting the living benefits policy do what it needs to do to make sure you're able not to be stressed out from finances or from anything else, that this is what really works. So just thinking about it, I can say one thing about Equis that I'm so proud to be a part of the team is because just about every carrier that we have the living benefits in it.
That is,
So
that is,
that's amazing.
it,
Equis did a great job in going out and getting these carriers that have living benefits. And these living benefits just don't come in an IUL policy. They also come in a term policy.
yes.
So
Before we get into that part, because that's where she left off, where she said she had a term policy with the living benefits, and we were talking about the IUL. But I want to give Kijana the opportunity to share with us the support system that he has with the podcast on Success Express, and then we're going to go into this next part. Kijana,
Okay.
Partners in Success, let's show them.
Success Express Marketing Solutions presents your virtual video podcast studio. Let the Success Express team help bring your podcasting dreams to life. Here's what we do. We help you come up with show ideas, design graphics for your show, set up your podcast studio, and run the back end of your show. So what do? Be ready for your show. Make sure your guests are ready. Log into the virtual studio, turn your cameras on, and go. Not sure you're ready to go live on a monthly or a weekly basis? You can get the Try Us Out Success Special. It's only $97 with free design setup. All you got to do is try us out, and I guarantee you're going to want more. So get set up today with your virtual video podcast studio from Success Express Marketing Solutions. So go online to Success Express MKTG, and we'll get you set up today. Sign up now and get our free ebook, Modern Podcasting, that'll teach you all the techniques you need to know to get your podcast started today.
Welcome to the Jazz Zone. Allow the Jazz Zone to make your next event enjoyable and entertaining. The Jazz Zone is great for private parties, weddings, festivals, fundraisers, grand openings, and corporate affairs. Move up to the next level of entertaining with the Jazz Zone. Check out our website at jazzzone.net. That's JAZZZONE.net. Or call the Jazz Zone at 626-798-6848. Yes, yes, yes. Now, I want to get back to our guests, Iris and Robert Davis, with such important information as we were getting ready to share with you about products as well. Iris, you were getting ready to share that, but I just wanted to let people know that our sponsors that help us keep this show going and our engineer, and that's why we wanted to take that break and share with them. Now we're right back with what we need to talk about that will help family, finance, and foundation.
Okay. Also, let's talk about the different type of policies that's out there that can do the same thing. You can have a term policy with the living benefits. You can have a return of premium policy. You can have now the only policy that does not carry the living benefits, and I must say, is your whole life. Your whole life does not have the living benefits. Um, but your term policies and your IUL policies and your UL policies have the living benefits. So there's something for everybody. And honestly, the living benefits is we do this and we do the living benefits with term policies for families with mortgage protection. If you have a new mortgage and you and your spouse, if one of the spouses pass away, then there's the mortgage protection, which is with the living benefits that will cover your mortgage. You can get a policy, and we do this every day as well. You can get the term policy. Just say you have a home of $250,000, $300,000. Then you get the term policy with that amount on it. If something happens to your spouse within the 30 years, which most term policies are 30-year terms, then that 30-year mortgage will be covered. And that's what's another thing that I love about it, is because if something happens to the husband or the wife and either one of them can't work, then there go the living benefits again. It works. It's just that we need to tell them how many ways that the living benefits can work for your family. So it's just not about, it's about that major illness, but it also helps you if one of the spouses are not able to work. We have a husband and a wife in a home. And of course, we're going to have a breadwinner in that home. And most of the time, it's the husband. We want to make sure that we get that policy on that husband. So if anything happens to that husband, then that home is still taken care of either by the death benefit or the living benefit. And that's what the term policy will do. So I ask everybody to look into this. If you have a policy and you do not have living benefits, you are really doing yourself a disservice. You need to check into getting a policy with living benefits. And another thing, people think because it says living benefits that it's expensive. It's not. Living benefits are included in most of these policies. And you can have a term policy with a carrier that doesn't have living benefits, and you can match this premium up against that, and I can guarantee you it doesn't cost more. It can be the same premium. So everybody, but you need to know policies go by age and health.
Let me stick something in real quick. A few weeks ago, we did a comparison on a policy. The one company, they had a 20-year term policy. We compared the two. We were less, $25 a month. Our policy was less than their 20-year term policy. And also our term policies, not only do they include living benefits, our term policy is changeable, where you convertible.
Yes.
So if you have a term policy and you've had it for how many years?
You can have a term policy, and after the first full year, if you decide I need a permanent policy, we can convert it into a permanent policy
without evidence of insurability.
Exactly.
That's very valuable information.
Yes. Yes.
So
this is what we do. We educate people.
That's another thing about the term policies. Your old term policies are not convertible, but the new ones that's out there now, they are convertible. And it tells you that.
We were talking about Equis and their progressive understanding and movement with the company, and how they have progressively moved into Zoom from the other room, essentially, where you can complete an entire interview and application online. Let's talk about that, because a lot of people is like, well, I'm not ready to move. Or
now, good you asked that question. Good you made that up, because Equis now is trying to go 100% virtual. And right now we're like 75% virtual. As of last week on one of our things, we told we were 75% virtual. That doesn't mean that you still can't go in the home. It's just being safe due to COVID. Everything has changed. The new way have changed. No one really wants you sitting at their kitchen table now, knowing the uncertainty of COVID. So Equis came up with a plan that, hey, let's take this virtual. Let's do this by Zoom or whereby.com. Let's do it to make everybody safe, but still protect families. And that's what's happening. Everybody is loving it. Virtual, like we're sitting here on this podcast right now. This is the same way I talk to clients every day. It's virtual, and it's wonderful. I'm looking at my client face to face. They're seeing me, I'm seeing them. They know that I'm a real person. They know that, hey, what's coming out of my mouth is true. I can share my screen with them, show them everything they need to know, and it is working out perfect. You being in the comfort of your home, and I'm being in the comfort of my home, and we're both being safe.
You know what? That's why we're Kijana put make the adjustments. See, because we're consistently making adjustments to our new lifestyle. The new lifestyle, they're not even going to work. They're working from home. The atmosphere of home-based business is one of the great opportunities that has been brought to me through Ms. Iris and Robert Davis to join Equis in the first place, because of the fact that the progressive move of the company and the way that we can share with other people that want to join the team, which I have the team of Art RLO agency, in terms of growing the business from Sankofa, which is going from River City. It's growing from somewhere, the opportunity to continue to evolve yourself and develop what it is that you want. You could either write and build, or build and write. Either way is very comfortable. And I just want to again say how much I appreciate you both as friends and colleagues to understand what I can do for families, finance, and foundation. I'm going to give Kijana a minute to share a couple of things, because we're about at the end of it, and then I want to come back to you and let you complete this series.
name is Kijano Owens. I am co-founder of Success Express Marketing Solutions. Our business is cultivating more business for your business. I want to tell you real quick about our program that is one of the most comprehensive business development online marketing support programs out there, which is the VASP, VASP, Virtual Assistant Support Program. This system allows you to operate and run your business while we help monitor and help you cultivate more business for your business online. Contact us at 909-686-1698 and visit us online at successexpressmarketing.com. Look forward to helping you take your business to the next level.
Yes, yes, yes. I want to also let folk know that when I travel to the events, because Equis has some really great events that are coming up, and I'm certainly planning to be there, but I travel by those that support to build what you build, and that is elite travel. That's Kijana's opportunity to gather folks and save them funds on traveling to wherever they're going. So I know that there is several events that are coming up, and I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to come back to our two distinguished guests and let them complete our show with the information that they were going to share. Please.
Robert is going to close it out today.
Yeah, to piggyback on Roscoe about Equis and being aggressive and progressive and helping the agents, it's truly an agent company, because probably maybe a year ago or something, we were saying, a lot of agents out there, they don't like recruiting. I approach them, present the opportunity. Oh, I don't like recruiting. So back in June, Equis blessed us now because God is in our life. The Bible says, include the Lord in all your plan, there will be a success. So we're always thinking God, and we're always thinking positive. So back in June, Equis came up with the new commission structure. Now you don't have to recruit to build your business. If you just want to be a producer only, you can be a producer only without having to recruit. And like you just said earlier, Roscoe, if you want to build a team of your dream, you can come on and do that with us, because that's what we're doing. So with Equis, you can just be a producer only, work on your own pen, or you can work on your own pen and also your team and go for the top. That's what we're doing. But I applaud Equis for always looking out for the agents.
That I know we're on overtime, but sometimes the game goes overtime. We need to kick a field goal.
Okay.
And that was a field goal you kicked, because you could do it or you can do it.
Right.
But my son says, don't sign up without signing in.
Right.
Because won't nothing happen.
Okay, that's good. I like it.
I like it.
It's like your wife asked me. He said, when's the next application coming? I said, as soon as I can get it to you. At any rate, I want to thank you both.
Thank you.
I didn't know if there was something else that you wanted to share before we got away.
No. I just want to thank you and Kijana for allowing us to be on this podcast today. I really appreciate it. I think this podcast is going to get out to the community and going to share information that people really don't know that they need to know. So just thank you guys for doing this podcast to put this information out there so people can better know what they don't have and what they need. And on that note, we can close it out, Roscoe.
There you go, Bobby. Bobby say, I got you. You need to see this last line. Show me that last line again. Stand up.
I'm a walking billboard, Roscoe, when I go into the mall.
That's how we do it.
Oh, you can't really see it. We'll talk next time. We're on the air.
First of all, again, thank you both. Thank you, Kijana. I know we did a little overtime. I appreciate what you're doing with the podcast, and I suggest anybody that is on there, get you an Insta Stinger, promote your business, develop what it is that you want to do. And if you want your own podcast, check in with Success Express Marketing Solutions. And what they say, get your guests ready, be ready, and go. Thank you again.
Success Express Marketing Solutions presents your virtual video podcast studio. Let the Success Express team help bring your podcasting dreams to life. Here's what we do. We help you come up with show ideas, design graphics for your show, set up your podcast studio, and run the back end of your show. So what do? Be ready for your show. Make sure your guests are ready. Log into the virtual studio, turn your cameras on, and go. Not sure you're ready to go live on a monthly or a weekly basis? You can get the Try Us Out Success Special. It's only $97 with free design setup. All you got to do is try us out, and I guarantee you're going to want more. So get set up today with your virtual video podcast studio from Success Express Marketing Solutions. So go online to Success Express MKTG, and we'll get you set up today. Sign up now and get our free ebook, Modern Podcasting, that'll teach you all the techniques you need to know to get your podcast started today.